Okay. A short handful of notes for you, friends. Um, I'm currently working on some other projects, of course. I'm doing a documentary film, and I'm also doing uh, two live TV specials, the first of which happens tomorrow. And I'm still writing little things for it, so this is really me procrastinating on that project. But lucky for us, we get together and talk fragrances just for a second. I hope you're doing well. I'm also doing medium good. Um, Instead of doing a regular review or whatever today, I decided to do like I don't know, a few suggestions for these colder months as they start kicking in. I really think you ought to wear different shit in the different seasons, you know? Like you need a cool, short sleeve shirt for summertime, but you need a fucking cool coat as well. Um, so these are more in the coat category, and these are just fragrances that I've been wearing and loving. Mostly, I work from samples with some of these because they're expensive fragrances, and my budget, I can't spend it on fragrances. I've got to spend it on whatever film equipment or what the fuck ever. If you would love to send me some dollars or whatever to purchase some more fragrances, I'm sure I would be able to do more reviews for that. So here's a handful. It's my Venmo. If you want to send me money or whatever to buy fragrances with, I would love that. And I don't really own. I think of the ones I'm going to mention to you, I don't own two of them. And I'm damn close to being out of another one. So, Venmo is Andy-Eppler. Okay, so some notes. These are intended to be masculine presenting, I guess, fragrances. But I think anybody could wear these. I think these are pretty much sexy on anybody. I tended more toward spicy things and woodsy things, but also with a pretty good note of floral things happening in here. Because I think a lot of these floral fragrances that are darker get sort of overlooked. And wintertime is the fucking time. And I wear them. I like them. Alright, so first things first. Probably the sexiest fragrance that I feel like I've been wearing lately is this sample that I got of Tom Ford's Oud Wood. Oh, I know that that's a very popular fragrance from that house, but I gotta fucking tell you, for good reasons. I've been going to like some parties and whatever lately, and I put on like one spray on each side of my neck, and that's fucking it with that. And they're kind of like, I don't try and spray them all the way even. You got to be careful with this shit in this season. When you're using these kind of fragrances, these are the ones that you can do too much. You know how people complain about motherfuckers that wear too much perfume? These are the ones. These winter ones especially. There are some, lighter fragrances and fresh fragrances that you can totally wear too much of. Like I think 5 sprays is insane. But I think 2 sprays is appropriate. 3 sprays, maybe even 4 sprays, depending on, are you doing full-on pumps? I don't. I basically almost never do full pumps of a fragrance. I do kind of like a half spray on each side of my neck. Because I don't want it to be overwhelming. I want you to notice when you kind of get here on me. So if you're like, I think I might hug him or something, when you get into a range where you're thinking about that, maybe, it might be one of those things that sort of, So Tom Ford Oud Wood. It's recommended. Little half sprays on your neck, and then if you want, you can take a little Q-tip and press it up against the applicator, give it another little half spray, and then apply that above your genitals. That's a solid move as well. I've been getting a lot of compliments on this. Woodsy, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a dark fragrance. Woodsy for sure. As woodsy as you can be before you start becoming this heavy, kind of abrasive thing that some of these woodsy fragrances can turn to. Tom Ford's probably my favorite fragrance house, and this is one of my favorites from his collection. My second one I'm going to tell you about is from Tom Ford as well, but I think it's one that you may have overlooked if you're a penis haver. Tom Ford Black Orchid. It's Eau de Parfum is I think the one that I like, but it's very dark, very orchid-like. But what does that mean? It's sort of like, it's got a powdery element, but it's also got sort of a, it's definitely sort of a darker woodsy thing, but it's got this light, I don't know. Hear this as a compliment to the fragrance, but it's got almost this medicated chest rub, vapor rub kind of thing that just sits right on top of the rest of it. I fucking think that really, and I honestly, honest to God, I do mean that as a good note. But it's got like a very, I don't know, sharp thing happening on the top that like really brightens up what would otherwise be too much of a good thing, perhaps, with all of the heavy florals that are in there. God damn, what a great fragrance. Sexy smell. And I think, like, I believe Tom Ford is calling that a unisex fragrance, but again, that means nothing to us, basically. Tom Ford, all their shit's good, and you could wear any of it. You could wear any perfume you like, penis having or not. That's my opinion. Tom Ford Black Orchid, very important, very sexy. If you can get your nose on it, you can make your decision for yourself, of course. Never just blindly trust anyone about your own fashion. But, oh boy, you could get fucked about that smell. Okay, next. The next one is one we've talked about before, and it's Jazz Club by Replica and Maison Margiela. It does this kind of like tobacco and booze, sweet thing. It smells like a bourbon ice cream with like pipe tobacco in it. But then if you're thinking of that smell and you're thinking like, yes, the sweeter notes of bourbon and sort of the, you know, lighter parts of tobacco, that's sort of what you're looking for. And then just scoop out some of the mid notes that you might be thinking of and get rid of those. And you end up with this kind of like, I don't know, what you would think is like syrupy sweet and heavy. It turns out to be pretty manageable. Strong as fuck. All these fragrances are strong as fuck. To be used, oh my God, sparingly, and with respect. You don't want to blow somebody's fucking nose out with this shit. You don't want the whole room to smell like you. I swear to God, that's not what you want. But this is one that you could definitely wear too much, too fast. You'd be surprised. But with that little caveat, there's a little fucking note for you. Another one I think you really ought to consider, of course, is La Nuit de l'Homme by YSL. That's one of the all-time classics, in my opinion. It's got like more of a cardamom kind of vibe to it, and it's whatever. It's got some floral notes. We've talked about it on this channel before, but I'd call it powdery, sexy. It means like the night of man, right? Sexy, strong kind of smell, and while it does have a lot of floral things happening, I think mostly you're going to get cardamom and maybe some woodsy tones. It's recommended. People seem to like it. You can get fucked about that smell as well. Um, One of the first videos I ever made about fragrances was about a cheaper fragrance by Guess, and it's their fragrance Seductive, and I really liked it. Um, Black pepper, but in an appropriate dose. You know, man, I do not really like black pepper as a fragrance note. I feel like it gets overdone, and I feel like it gets leaned into inappropriately. It's sort of stanky, and not in a great way. For me, oh my God, just an opinion. Um, Seductive by Guess is a really nice version of a kind of a black pepper, not quite like a Dior Sauvage kind of thing where it's got like a cotton candy type element to it. This is more kind of like a dry, um, spicy, and you probably could wear a lot of this without offending people. Um, this could be a 3 spray kind of situation. Um, but it's probably like $30 or less at your local whatever Marshalls or TJ Maxx or what the fuck ever. They've probably got it over there. The one last one I think I'll talk to you about is by All Saints, and we've talked about this fragrance before as well, and it's called Flora Mortis. And see full review on the actual notes and stuff of it, but it's another one of those sort of like Black Orchid where it's got the darker vibes to it, little sweetness happening, but very flower forward. I think that's a really sexy vibe for this winter. Think dark flowers. Think moderation with your goddamn fragrances. I swear, if you show up to a sex party or whatever and you reek of too much perfume, like they will ask you to leave, or they'll make you take a shower. You know what I mean? Like I'll go to a lot of events like that, or like kink events in Denver, because I do art with those kind of folks fairly regularly, and you smell people as you walk by, either because they've been dancing for hours or because they have like a lot of perfume on. And I wore Flora Mortis to one of those events, I don't know, maybe last year, and I got compliments all night. And I don't know how you feel about people wanting to like sniff your neck, but like I'm into it. So those are some quick thoughts about this winter. It's Tom Ford Oud Wood. It's very expensive. It's very expensive. I don't own it. But if you can get a sample of it, I promise it'll last you a long time. Or whatever, if you do own it, definitely wear it a lot more right now. Or if you're sick of it, you can mail it to me. Tom Ford Black Orchid is sort of like the same house, but I don't know, more sex forward, I would say. Oud Wood's good. Yeah, I mean, it's inescapably delicious. But fucking Black Orchid is like, that's how you get fucked. I don't know why everything's about sex today. It's because I've been working so much. I'm fucking focused on escapism. That's why I'm doing the video at all. Ah, yes, of course. Jazz Club replica. That's at perfume shops. Sephora, I think, sells it. It's a little pricey, but you'll think it's worth it. La Nuit de l'Homme, of course. That's an all-time classic. That's more like I think that's probably more like in the $70 or $80 range. And cheapest one on the list is Guess Seductive, maybe $30. Peppery, light. I like it a lot. And then All Saints Flora Mortis. That's maybe like $150, which I think is expensive. But golly, you want expensive fragrances in the wintertime. You could really get away with cheap things in the summer times because they're usually going to be like light fragrances anyway that aren't going to last very long no matter what you get. Like Costa Azura from fucking Tom Ford smells fucking fabulous for like 2 hours, you know? So, you know, you can wear cheaper things and you wear more of it technically, you know? So that makes a lot of sense to me. But in the wintertime, when you don't want to wear a lot of fragrance, but you do want it to have warmer, more complex notes, it's worth spending the extra fucking jangle on it. What else? That's it. My God, that was it. Oh my God, we did a video that was under 20 minutes. If we can get out of here in a minute. Thank you very much for watching. I just think you're wonderful. I think I can probably trim this down to even shorter of a video, you know? Thank you very much for watching. You are a shining crystal of consciousness in the universe, and your nose really is for more than sniffing farts. See you again soon.